Hi, thanks for joining me today. Are you suffering from people in your stepfamily projecting all their angry emotions onto you just because you're the newcomer? Are you finding people are having arguments about nothing? They resist everything about you. Subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell and I'll let you know every time I post. Projection is all about when somebody bundles up their thoughts and feelings about something that's happened in the past somewhere else and projects it onto something else and often blames something else for what they're really being upset about. In a stepfamily, projection is quite common. And in a stepfamily, the stepparent is often the person that the projection is put onto. So people may be feeling distressed or angry, upset, unforgiving, really, really upset about something, and yet they project it and think that they're blaming the step-parent correctly for things that they've done, when in fact it's just pent-up anger and sadness from the past somewhere. Now, you won't be surprised to hear that. It's in a step-family, when things come back together again, you, the outsider, the step-parent, is the easy target because you're not part of the past, you're the newcomer, and the sort of the vitriol can be focused towards you to try and sort of expel you because you're new to the scene, and it's easy to find fault with new, and so you introduce new things and you become the cause and the problem, instead of people recognising that actually they've got pent-up feelings from the past and are just bitter and angry and frustrated and sad and haven't dealt with it. So how, as a step-parent, are you best to manage this? Well, the first step is to recognise it. And it's not easy because the emotion can be very strong, and the criticism and what's the arguments levied towards you can be very believable. I mean, you can really feel that that person is upset about you. There's no indication that it's about anything else. And you've got to recognise that actually these emotions can be extremely strong, and you can feel that you're really not welcome, or that they've really got an issue with you. But actually, it's just all they're doing is showing you the strength of their upsettedness from before. And one of the things is to be able to recognise it and to say, this is not about me. Now, projection can come from all parts in a step-family. It doesn't necessarily need to be from the stepchildren. It can be from other relatives elsewhere as well. And you don't seem to be able to get anywhere with the family. And also, arguments are created out of nowhere. People become very insistent on the way things are done or the way things shouldn't change, and you can feel very blocked and as though you're going head to head on arguments all the time. And then there's this sort of subversive criticism of what's going on, of you. As someone who felt very distressed at the time my family broke up, and then projected that distress onto the family that formed afterwards, I have to say that when I see projected feelings, I see them as a cry for help. That's what mine were. That if only somebody could have seen that actually I was screaming from inside, that I was unable to grieve what had gone on before, and everybody was just galloping away ahead in reorganising their lives. If only people could understand that from my perspective, then the projection that I gave needn't have been so much. So that's a word for us step-parents who are often on the other side. And this anger that you receive from your stepchildren and other people around and about isn't directed at you. It really isn't. It's all about them, but they are blind to it. And often, if you can see through that, you might be able to help them realise that. You might be able to help them to acknowledge that those feelings don't belong directed at you. You may not get the opportunity to address that because once they're directing their projection at you, it's pretty unpleasant. One of the techniques to use is what I call the fly on the wall technique. When you're stuck in a situation in a step family and projection, you're getting all these negative vibes, people hate you, people hate what you're trying to do, they don't want change, they're arguing with you, they don't like you, they want you out of here, they ignore you, they want you gone, is to come out of yourself and put yourself on the ceiling or on the wall behind you, looking down at the situation. And you can begin to see them as people mapping out their world and having arguments for the sake of it. And you can see it, instead of being directed at you, you can see it as their unhappiness, which is just projecting onto somebody that isn't you, but you are representing something they want to project onto. Often that can help because you can sort of see arguments in third parties, and you can see the manipulation, and you can see the futility of it, and you can see that they're only arguing from their position because they can, and really there's no depth to their arguments, and it's all just a play act. It's a game. People are sort of like pieces on a chessboard. They're just moving around. And you can avoid taking what they say personally. And then hopefully you can, in these arguments, slide past the arguments. So you realise that they're really unhappy about something you've recommended you do, or something you want to change or something. And maybe you can just not have that argument. Leave whatever it is you want to change for the moment be for a while and just slide on past. This isn't about you. This isn't about them not wanting to do what you're saying. It's nothing to do with that. It's just they're really angry about everything in themselves. So once you can see it as a sort of third-party argument that's going on, that's not at all about anything to do with who you are, then you can often manage a lot better. Projection is not fair, especially when it's directed at you. It's not right in so many ways. But if you can see it as a cry for help and them feeling sad, and sadness often sits underneath anger, and what you're getting is angry projection at you, it can help to see it as them being sad, and this being totally not about you, but about them, where they are in their lives, how they're feeling, and how they haven't been able to move on from what's gone on in their past. We run workshops, sessions, an email response service, and we write booklets. See in the description box below for links to our social media and website.